Hi guys, today we're going to be making a spaghetti bolognese. So as we see, we've got the ingredients here, some cheese, some chopped tomatoes, garlic. We can either get garlic in the clove, mince it down, or in the granules, which is good. We have a little bit of basil here as well. We have a little bit of tomato puree to go in, an onion and a minced beef. But first of all, we're going to start off with our spaghetti, okay? So if we get a spaghetti out, we don't need over a lot amount, okay? And what I like to do with my spaghetti is, instead of just putting it straight in so it's at the top, we can just crack it in half. Then our water, which is boiled from the kettle, put in. We're just gonna, in it goes. As such, we're gonna add a tiny, just a little bit of salt, a little dollop of salt there, and we're just gonna leave him to do his business, okay? Then we're gonna work on the actual bolognese, the mince itself. So for this, we're going to get a separate board here, guys. As we see, we have a red board and a different knife than what we're doing with any other stuff over here. So the raw will stay on your red, preferably, okay? What we can do is get this straight out onto there. We can take that away and we can discard of your packaging into the bin. As such, right there. After this, we're going to start firing up a pan on the stove. If we get a pan about this size, which is fine. If you've got one bigger, not too bad. All we need is a little bit of oil in there, and then I'm going to fire this up. Okay, this will need to go on a medium heat. As we can see from here, guys, when I'm talking about medium heats and high heats on this stove here, is, if we can see, that's low. I've turned it down on the mark here. You'll see a very low flame on this bit. As we can see, it's a very low flame. As we go to a medium, which is halfway in between, it goes up a little bit more. As we go to very high, we'll turn it up, and as we can see, it's a very high flame, and on it goes. With our oil, we're just going to splash it around a bit. We don't need too much, just a little dollop. As it goes, round it goes, and on we go. Okay? For this here, I'm going to wait for that for 2 seconds. Because it's on high, it will go quite fast, it will heat quite fast because it's oil, okay? We're going to move this over as such, like this, onto there. And if you don't want it all to go in straight away, we can use this and we can just break it down like that, okay? We can just break it down. It doesn't all have to go in, because we're going to be doing this in the pan as well, okay? So we can just break it down as it goes. When we are checking the heat for the oil, what we can do is put a hand this way in like this, so it doesn't stick. As if we go in like a fire, we can stick. I can feel that's not very hot, so I'm just going to leave it in there, okay? The pasta's going nicely over this side. That'll take probably about 10 minutes or something like that. Depends what your heat's on. This heat's on a very high heat, so I'm going to get it done. I'm going to get it boiled, and then I'm going to turn it down just with about 3 to 4 minutes, 5 minutes to go, so it can just cook all the way through nicely. Okay? You see, guys, with this here, if your oil is not very hot and there's a lot in it, like I can see, I've got a bin down here, so I can just pour it a little bit in there. If it's very too hot, never do that, because it's just going to burn all your bin, burn everything out. If it's still cold, still very cold, you can just chuck it straight in, or a little bit lukewarm like that one was, you can just pour it in. If not, use something that's very strong to put it in, okay? So it doesn't burn. Right, so for now, I'm going to move this across onto there. I'm going to get either my tongs or my spatula or anything like this. You can even use your knife if you have to, if you haven't got any of these, but I'm going to use my tongs for today. I'm going to slowly take this over onto here, okay? There we go, in it goes. There we go, and there is that there. What we can do now is just break it up as it's going around, like we just did. And because everything's hot and boiling inside here now, we can look just adjusting the heat on here and just taking him down to a medium heat, okay? We're going to wait till all the pinkness and the redness is gone from that, and then we're going to start adding some of our other things. So at this point, because it's on a medium to low heat, I'm going to start working on my onion here while that's cooking away. So with our onion, if we get a knife and we can carefully chop the one side there, okay? And then again, we can carefully chop the next side there. Put him on the flat surface, straight through he goes like this, and then we can nicely just peel away with the onion. If you have to take the next layer underneath it off, then that's fine, don't worry about that. Another thing with an onion is great is that even if it's maybe mouldy or on the top here it's not looking good, we can keep peeling away and underneath will be fine. So if you see an onion and it's got a little bit on it, just take it off and the rest of it will be fine to use underneath. Okay, so we'll discard of all this stuff here. And then from this side, we're gonna put our fingers like this so they never get caught. If the knife goes straight down, it will never get caught. So we're gonna start from here and we're gonna go like that in a circular motion. So the knife will be moving in a circular motion like this, okay? So fingers nice there. And we're just going to do this all the way through. If it gets to the point where you need to turn it, it's fine. You can turn your onion, on it goes, and that's your onion there, perfect. Okay, now we're going to swing this round a little bit more. As we can see, guys, we've still got some pink bits, but it's starting to take some colour. So now, because we're taking some colour, we're going to break it up, keep breaking it up, and keep moving it around, okay? We're going to keep cooking it until that pinkness is just about gone, and then we can start adding the rest of our components into this dish. So there we go, keep breaking it up a little bit more. Smells lovely in there, and what I'm going to do is just move it up now just to a little tad, so it's medium to high-ish in there, okay? That can go on there. With this, I'm going to check this in here. Now the pasta, I'm going to give it a little move around so it's not sticking together, and then I'm just going to let it carry on doing what it needs to do. Okay, we can always check this pasta if we need to, but it's looking very fine. You can feel it, how soft it is in there as well, which is a good indicator to see what it's like. Okay, we can feel it, and also guys, if we have to, you can try your food. Always try it, okay? That's literally a couple seconds to go, that a couple of minutes. So at this stage that I know that's there now, I can turn this down to maybe a low to medium heat so it can just go through slowly and nicely for us there. Okay, that's done, perfect. That's there. We're gonna have a look at this mince again. This is all just about getting there now. That took a couple of minutes. Okay, and as we can see, no pink in there now, there's all gone there, and then we can just start adding our other things into it now, guys, okay? So the first thing that we are going to add is our tinned chopped tomatoes, okay? They can go straight in. Lovely jubbly. With your cans, if you have cans like this, guys, if we can fold this bit from the top, carefully push it in with your thumb, okay? And then we can squeeze this side down. Due to you never being able to, when it goes in the bin bag, to have to cut your finger on any of this bit at the top there. We can go in, you'll never cut your bin bag when you're taking it out, that's fine. So then guys, after this, a little bit of basil we're gonna add. I'm gonna give this a nice little swing around in here, okay? This can get swung around in here, and what we're gonna do now is pull this to a medium heat again, just so we can get everything running together inside this pan, okay? Let's put that there. There we are, we've got the medium there now, okay, brilliant. Now guys, we're gonna add a little bit of basil into here. There we go, lovely. In we go, maybe two 2 little ones in it goes. This is a little bit of chili there. So what we're going to do is we're just going to get a knife or a spoon or whatever you want, just a little bit. This is a bit of sweet pepper and chili. It's just going to add a tiny little bit of kick to it, guys. So we don't need too much. Okay, we're going to add this in here, just as such. Perfect. Then we're going to just break these onions up a little bit like this, okay? And they can go in there as well. And we're going to leave that. We're going to leave them to get softened throughout the mix in there, you see. There we go. So these will still offer a little bit of crunch to us as well. Perfect. Now this is not going to need much longer to cook. A couple more minutes on the hob here. If we turn it up to high, that's fine. If we leave it. And then we can add some little bit of tomato puree in there as well. Keep that going. Just a hand squeeze over it goes, guys. Hand squeeze. I'm going to show you now exactly how much. Just a little hand squeeze over like this, okay? And we can leave that there. And then to finish this little bit of off, we're going to add a little bit of garlic, okay? We don't need a lot. If you like your garlic, then put him in a lot. It's completely up to you. That's the beauty with food, guys, that however much you like of something, you can just add it straight in. So if it's basil, add it all in. If you love this chili kind of pepper taste, add it all in. It's completely up to you. So from here we can give this a little bit of more of a mix round now. Get that tomato puree working in there, okay? I'm going to turn that down to that. I've just moved that a little bit from the medium, so it's just touching medium to low, because we can just let this do its thing now, keep working, and it smells fantastic. I know that for sure. So then after this, we can see our pasta's here working now. So I'm going to pull that off the hob from there. I'm going to turn him down to low. And then if we can get a strainer like we had the one from before, or however it is, and then we shall strain our pasta straight down. And there it is. So our pasta's been strained now. That's good to go. We're going to have a look at our other mix here. I'm going to just turn this back up to maybe a medium to high heat to give it a little bit of a blast through. So we know, guys, that the mince is already cooked as we got rid of all the pink out of it. So that's good to go. Our onions are softened off a little bit, but still got that little bit of crunch in it. And everything else is coming together lovely that we've added in. So this just needs to be on the cook for a couple of minutes. As we can see, guys, when it starts to bubble around the sides, that's cool. We know it's cooking. The actual meat itself is cooking, so everything else is fine within there. So now we're going to start slowly plating up, okay? So you can either choose to put this in a bowl or on a plate. Maybe a large bowl, maybe that, so it can hold all of the juices and everything around there. So if you have a bowl there, that's perfect. But if we see this here, guys, we can even just keep breaking it up and we can keep going. We can smell it, and as we're going, if you want to add something else, we can taste it, or just get a little bit of a spoon and you can taste actually what's going on in there. So if you need to add a little bit more basil, need to add a little bit more whatever it may be, then that's fine. Now for me, which is completely optional to you guys, is, but for me, I do it to every single dish. I'll just add a little bit of salt and pepper. The salt and pepper needs to be the seasoning for everything if we can. Okay, but that bit is optional because obviously everybody's different and there's nothing wrong with that. So I'm going to take this here, I'm going to take this off the hob. I have the luxury of just putting it there, but if that you haven't got that case, you can just turn it off, leave them on there, that's fine. So now it's time to plate this up, okay? So we have our pasta. Good to go. We can just plate this anywhere in the middle here. There we go. Perfect. And we can always put that there, put him there. Then with this we can just put him over onto here, such. And then I'm going to finish it off with a little bit of grated cheese, okay guys? Obviously if you have a cheese block, then please find your grater, give him a little grate. But for me here, we have got some grated one already done. And we're just going to put this straight over the top of it. And the same with the cheese, the same with everything else that we've got, guys. If you want to use the whole bag, use the whole bag. It's completely not up to me, but for me, I'm just going to put him here and then drop him from there. On he goes, nice little bit more. On he goes from there. Perfect, guys. If you want to get it, slam it on, put him on, completely fine. I just like to drop it so it evenly goes over. Okay guys, and so from this here, we're finished up, and there we have it, is our spaghetti bolognese. Enjoy.